Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining us on YouTube for the third episode of Yellowish, Blue, and Pink. Today's episode is all about conflict. You're going to hear a bunch of voices in the first scene, those who argue against LGBTQ equality and those who are activists and supporters. Then we're going to hear from the professor in the second piece, and she is going to be talking to both her loyal supporters and her critics as she decides to paint a green painting. I hope you enjoyed both pieces in today's episode and the conversation that follows during the question and answer session.
The youth need to wake up and realize that this is not about love. We're looking at a situation of moral rebellion that reflects a deep-rooted confusion, a rebellion against the master societal design. We are dealing with those who will not receive the truth as compassionate.
In the book of Rembrandt, chapter 2, verse 24, it says, "Therefore blue shall leave his father and mother and be joined with pink, and they shall become one." That's the master's plan, and that can be seen through all of nature.
There are many who don't think we have something profound to say about this. Ask the question, what kind of people we must be to deal with something as tragic as this colorful mixing? This is bigger than our imaginations can understand. I am speaking the truth about these new colors with love.
We don't say anything about the orange and red stained glass in our church. We pick and choose the scriptures that we want to beat folks up with rather than look at our own lives. You can't evangelize and antagonize at the same time. You cannot insult and inspire at the same time.
In the book of Picasso, chapter 1, verse 26, it says that two colors pledged their eternal love to one another and clearly stated for all to read that love was wonderful, passing the love of pink. The lesson is that mixing paint colors is, in his own words, wonderful.
If you are guilty of falsely condemning the blending of colors, now is the time to make restitution with the green community before it's your turn to meet your maker. Oh, and read Monet, chapter 18, verse 1, where blue and yellow made a covenant between them because they loved each other so much.
Propaganda disseminated by the master painter casts quick brush stroke concepts across the world, painting colors like purple and yellow in a bad shade.
Since the master painter's banishment of all colors other than pink and blue, color dumping and color conversion cases have doubled. Her laws have also been used to detain color rights activists.
They are desaturating the hues of banned colors, and we have to stop turning our backs on her actions. We urge you to erase this propaganda out of your mind and to see the real beauty of all colors.
Why are colors here? What is happening in the world right now? There are so many who are saying that using banned colors is to blame for all this turmoil. Refuse to believe that ignorance. The color green can inspire just the same as colors pink or blue. Why have we let a group of uninspired humans tell us which colors we can create art with? To my loyal fans, thank you for believing in my art, even in the face of such extreme criticism. And to my critics, know that I stand behind my work. And I am enamored with this new color, green. Painting is my passion, and passions should not be suppressed. Human purpose is to be exceptional, and I believe I've created something exceptional. Ask yourself, if green were the norm, would blue be the outcast color of our society? This act of inclusion is something that I will never take back. I can't. nor do I want to. It's who I am. You can't help what you think is beautiful.
Hi, everybody out there. Thank you so much for watching our play reading today. I hope you enjoyed this episode. We are ending all of our episodes with a little Q&A from our artists and asking them some questions about LGBTQ artists and issues in the world. So we are going to start with asking our artists, who do they like to support? Who do they listen to? What do they watch? Where can they find great LGBTQ representation in the media? And I'm going to toss it to Ashley. I know you have some great things you wanted to share.
I was going to talk about one of my favorite LGBTQ plus performers, which is actually John Tartaglia. He got me into theater when I first was kind of in middle school and wasn't really like sure about what I was going to do with my life. And I didn't realize at the time what the LGBTQ community was. But he's kind of the most impactful because I listened to Avenue Q and I became obsessed with him and kind of tracked his journey and was like, okay, cool. This is amazing. This guy's amazing. I want to get more into something like that. And he kind of kickstarted my progression into theater and into the arts.
Cool. Zachary, how about you?
Yes. One of my favorite I think inspirations in our community is Ross Matthews personally, and I personally every week will follow his podcast, Straight Talk with Ross Matthews. It's a safe place. I mean, you can just listen to it and you feel like you're a part of our community, and he supports various artists that are queer and LGBTQ. You can even falter and mess up, but he makes you feel like it's not a problem at all, and I think it's a great community that he expands into the world, and many allies besides just members of our community, but allies. It's a great place to focus and be happy. So kiss there.
Yeah. And I love actually that you mentioned that you don't have to be perfect, and you're going to make mistakes when you talk about other communities as an ally, and even yourself. I mean, even myself being a part of the LGBTQ community, I'm always learning. I'm always discovering, maybe ways to be more sensitive or ways to approach somebody. And I'm wrong sometimes, and I think that's what's the beauty of having this Q&A afterward and starting some conversation and just some thought out there, because we're all just trying to, support each other and make sure that we all have equitable lives, right? And in this world. It's a word that could mean celebration to you. It's a word that can mean that we need to still have progress, but we're trying to figure out, what does the word pride mean to us, and what does it mean to the greater community? And Alondra, I'd love for you to start with that.
Yeah, I love pride and everything that it stands for. I think that what's so great about it is that there's a lot of different ways that people, different communities, whether it be LGBTQ plus or like for me, like the Hispanic community, anything that you represent, you're able to like show your pride for it. And whether it's going to, pride parades or being really active on social media, sharing your experience and your stories, knowing who you are and coming to terms with it and not apologizing for it. And I think that it's something really, really powerful for anyone.
Yeah, I love that. I love that you brought it full circle, that, we use pride in this LGBTQ community, but it's a word that even if we look at the world around us right now and what's happening in the US specifically, I mean, it's a word that can go beyond anything that we may pigeonhole it into. Zachary, how would you answer that question?
So regardless of however you celebrate and like display your pride in the world, at the end of the day, I think pride is an unconditional self-love for yourself and being confident in that and not letting anything hinder you and affect your life. Just love yourself first and be happy with your entire being, what that is. And I believe that exudes and passes on to any others and inspires confidence to be able to feel that same experience and feeling.
Well, thank you everybody today for sharing some of your thoughts. And everyone out there, if you loved the episode of the play reading that you watched today, I just want to remind you that our artists would love if you would drop a tip, the cost of a fancy coffee or something like that in their Cash App. And you can find all of that below. And maybe you want to reach out to one of these artists. So very quickly, Alondra, where can people find you on social media?
I mostly use Instagram. So my Instagram is at Alondra Rios.
And Zachary, how about you? If someone wants to reach out to you, maybe ask a question or a follow-up to the great Pride answer that you just gave us.
Yeah, absolutely. You can find me at ZacharyDean.com, or on Instagram, I'm at Zachary Dean Actor.
Fantastic. And Ashley, wrap us up today with sharing where people can reach out to you.
Yeah, same boat. I use Instagram mostly. It's Hart_Lee, HART, 2_LEY. I also have a website, which is ashleyhartwig.com, and there's a link to that on my Instagram bio. So give it a little look.
And everybody, we're going to share all of that in the description as well. Thank you so much for supporting Yellowish, Blue, and Pink, and we hope you tune into the next episode. See you later.